are underneath the hood of a 1968 Camaro. This guy's pretty interesting under here. It has a big block Chevy. I'm not sure of the displacement yet. I'm going to guess it's a 454, but we'll figure it out and put it in the spec sheet here. But we're going over it for the first time right now. It does have a tarantula Edelbrock type intake manifold on it. It has a dual feed Hawley vacuum secondaries, 14-inch unsilenced air cleaner. Set of really nice finned aluminum valve pan covers, chrome alternator. It does not have a fan on the front of the engine, but it does have a huge, about a 16-inch electric fan pushing from the front across a 4-pass high-flow radiator on it, conventional hoses. It has billet aluminum wheels on it for the crank, the water pump, and the power steering unit. It does have power steering and does have power brakes in the front. Brand new booster, brand new master cylinder. Really nice set of, I'm going to call them 2 1/8 inch hooker headers on it, ceramic coated. This engine, you can see, has been out of the vehicle and completely refreshened. So I'm guessing everything in it is new. It's also got a nice new coat of paint on it. Chrome alternator, I think I mentioned that. The battery is also brand new in it. It has an MSD ignition system in it and an MSD distributor to go with it. Conventional suspension in the front of it. Washer bottle still original type and intact. Fender panels, inner fender panels are a satin type black, the way they should be, the same as underneath the hood here. The rest of this thing in the engine compartment is as nice as could possibly be. Billet aluminum overflow bottle for the aluminum radiator. I don't see any leaks at all in this thing. The valve pans are nice and fresh along the sides. No oil leakage or seepage whatsoever. Same thing with the intake manifold and the timing chain cover the same way. High silicone plug wires, MSD coil, cowl tag still intact and very legible. Nice car, really nice. I don't know what this thing's making horsepower wise. Haven't had the opportunity to drive it yet, but you're going to see shortly because we're going to. But I know it sounds great. The thing definitely sounds like it's making some serious ponies. So we'll take it out and give it a squirt and see what it performs like. But very, very nice engine compartment on this guy. Very impressive with the large finned aluminum valve pan covers. Makes the engine look a lot taller and wider than it actually is. But really nice setup here. Let's go around the rest of it. Hi, you're at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. And today we got another really neat toy for you to take a look at. 68 Camaro. Got a big block in it, an automatic, really a good looking car. Let's go over it and see if we can show you any deficiencies or defects in the paint or finish or anything we can show you, we're going to show you. Obviously it's got about a 2-inch rise and cowl induction hood on it. I love these things on these Camaros. It really adds some character to it. The finish in the center is a satin silver, obviously to match the wheels to give it a contrast to the charcoal paint on the rest of the car, but the satin silver really sets it off. Really looks great. Nice idea the gentleman had whenever he did this car. The gap on the hood to the fender is really nice. This guy could go down just a hair. We have to adjust this hood a little bit up high here. We'll adjust that, no problem. Camaro designation on the front. Real nice 1/8 gap the whole way around. You can see going down the side, nice even gap. Across the cowl area the same way. Paint on this car is really nice. It's like a medium gray color. It's not, I don't know, I guess we could call it charcoal, but it's a lighter charcoal. It's not real dark. Very nice gray. Trim around the grill area, which is an RS tile grill. Billet aluminum, by the way. This had to be a very expensive piece to put on this guy. But the trim around it is very nice. Filler panel is nice the same way. Bumper fitment. That guy's right on the money. That is as nice as you're going to get one of those to fit. Spoiler in the front, looks like someone's finished it in the same gray finish gloss, as opposed to just leaving it a flat black color. Has a lot of character to it. Looks really, really good. I have no idea where the heck the parking lights are in this thing. They must be hidden behind here somewhere. There has to be a set of parking lights somewhere, but I really don't see them right now. Billet aluminum RS style grille really adds some character to this thing. Spoiler painted the same as the vehicle, and that matte black satin finished silver hood really makes this thing look pretty neat. Let's go down the side, see what we can find there for you. Okay, driver's side of our Camaro. Side marker light, just as nice as can be. Fitment of the fender to the front valance, really nice. No fender lip molding. You wouldn't put that on a car like this. This thing has a nice look the way it is. Fitment of the cowl to the hood to the fender here, very, very nice. Correct wiper arms and blades, polished stainless, just the way they should be. Trimmer on the front window. No dents, no dingies whatsoever. Sunshade, fade, windshield in it, brand new. There's not a single mark or a wipe from the windshield wipers through the years, so this guy has to be brand new. Dash painted where it transitions to the base of the windshield, absolutely like the day it was made. New padded dash pad on it. VIN number nice and legible, nice and correct and legible. The top on this thing is just like a piece of wet glass. It cannot get any nicer. It's absolutely gorgeous. No marks, no deviations, no scratches, absolutely nothing. Fender to the door, to the rocker. Real nice fitment on that guy. You're not going to get much better than that. The correct style mirror, rear view mirror, door mirror. Looks like tinted glass on the side of this guy too. Check out this window fitment. Front window to the back window. Look at this. It cannot get any better than that. Wipes, whiskers, absolutely new. And where they transition onto the flat piece of stainless, where it transitions to the door and the quarter panel, precisely fit. Can't even get a fingernail underneath it. New door handles. Absolutely brand new. The chrome is a foot deep on them. Door fitment, very, very nice on this car. Sail panel area, really good. There's absolutely no issues. Drip rail. Nada. I don't know what that is. Piece of fuzz from Jeff's rag. Quarter panel. You can hear tin. No Bondo up in the fender wells or anything, just as nice as you'd ever want to find. Side marker light in the back. Nice fitment, just like the front. Boy, looking down the side of this car, there's no door dents or deviations. The paint on this thing is really, really exemplary. I didn't realize this car was that nice. We got it in and it was dirty. Jeff washed it, cleaned it up, and we're just going over for the first time. Like I said, I haven't had the opportunity to drive it yet. I have no idea what it runs like. We're going to find out shortly. Yeah, the paint on this thing is as nice as anything we have in the building. It's absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous paint job. Much, much better than a driver quality paint on this car. 17-inch in the front, 18-inch in the back. You notice that they're like a satin silver center. I believe they called these things Bonneville salt flat wheels. These are the type of wheel that they used when they ran cars for top speed at the Bonneville salt flats. And that's where this wheel design was derived. And that's what this guy has. 17s in the front, 18s in the back, some serious wide rubber in the back of this guy. Again, side of the car is just as nice as you'd ever want to find. I don't see any defects in the paint, no irregularities whatsoever. I don't know where you're going to find one any nicer than that. This is a great driver's side of the car and the front end. Let's go out back, see if something needs attention there. Okay, rear section of our 68 Camaro. Neglected to mention the trim around this back window and the hatch shelf Half shelf is absolutely brand spanking new. You can see the interior has been replaced. It has a new cover on the seat. And the trim around this back light, this back window, has absolutely no marks, no chips, no pound marks or anything on it anywhere. It's as nice as you're ever going to find one. Trim around the rear deck, about 1/8 of an inch, just the way it should be. Spoiler fitment is really, really nice on the car. Trim around your backup light and tail light assemblies, absolutely brand new chrome. These things are usually pitted up and have some patina on them. These are not. These are absolutely flawless. Cannot get any better. Chevy cap on the back. Satin on this back panel to match the satin on the hood and the satin on the wheels. Really gives it a lot of character. Rear bumper. Same as the front one, right on the money. I'm not going to get any better than that. That is perfect fitment. Rear valance, no pull marks or anything on it, just as nice and clean as you'd ever want to find. The seam where it matches the base of the quarter panels the same way. That's about as perfect a rear section of a car that you could find. The paint is just exemplary. I love that charcoal gray and the satin silver character of this vehicle. Gives it a lot of contrast. It gives it a lot of look. It's a great looking car. Great color combination. One more side. Okay, our last side, passenger side. This is a great car. I like it. I love this color combination. Side marker lamp, just like the other two. Just perfect fitment. Really, really nice. Tin. Sail panel. No marks, no deviations. I don't see any fogginess in this paint anywhere. It's just absolutely beautiful. I can't believe the paint job on this thing. I saw the car sitting around that needed cleaned up here for the last couple weeks, and this is the first opportunity I really had a chance to go over it. So you and I are looking at this for the first time together. Wow, look at this. We got another one. Really great fitment. Trip rail, same as the other side, no marks. Look at this fitment here, same as the other window. It does not get any better than that. It really doesn't. Again, tinted glass. Wipes, whiskers. Wow. Paint on this car is absolutely beautiful. No right-hand mirror. Whoever buys this car, if they want a right-hand mirror on it, we'll put one on for you. Okay, trim around the front window on this side. Boy, same as the other side. It's almost like I'm wasting my time going over this. Everything I look at is right on the money pretty much, except one little tiny hood adjustment. That's all I found so far. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Front of this door to the front fender. Camaro, no patina. Front marker light. And by the way, all the chrome trim around the bezels, around all four marker lights, absolutely like new. And the fitment is just exemplary. There's a gasket back there, and everything is fit just as tight as can be. Definitely got to adjust this. But other than that, it's a 68 Camaro. Tinted glass, big block, automatic, Bonneville wheels on it. Nice contrast between the satin silver and the charcoal gray finish on it, which, by the way, is definitely as nice a paint as you'd ever want to find on any vehicle. I didn't find a single mark, a chip, a ding, a deviation, a fitment problem other than that hood. And this is so minuscule, you could leave it alone and most people wouldn't even notice it. But we're going to go ahead and adjust it down just a hair anyway. This car just has a really great look to it. Got some huge tires on the back, and I don't know what size they are, but they're definitely serious tires on the back of this thing. Probably need them for that motor. It's a car that you just watched me go over. We didn't find a mark, a chip, a ding, a deviation. It's got a great contrast between the two colors on this vehicle. It's a plain looking car. There's not a lot of extra trim put on it. There's no fender lip moldings. There's no rocker panel molding. No added chrome to it. It just has Nice accentuated trim around the windows, which that's the way they come. You don't have any choice there. But everything is just fitment-wise on this car is just as nice as you'd ever want to have. And we usually find a little deviation on some of the trim around the windows or the drip rail or something. There's none on this vehicle. There's absolutely none. And the bumper fitment is just exemplary. Try to go over this car as well as we could. Show you every little thing that we could cosmetically on the outside of this car. We're going to do an interior section on it right now and show you what we can find there. But it's a car that's available here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach. And Devin and I just did a complete walk around on this car showing you everything. Would love to show it to you in person as opposed to just going over it and showing a video. But that's why we're doing these videos, so that you can look at it. If you decide to come down, by all means, come down. We'd rather show it to you in person, put it up on the rack, go for a ride in it, go out and tear some tires off of it. But if you can't, that's why these videos are up for you. Take a look at them. Hanksters, Daytona Beach. Well, we're inside our 68 Bonneville Salt Flat style Camaro. Really a great car. Just looking at this thing real quickly, whoever did the vehicle just went inside this thing and said, you know what, let's just make everything new again. And that's what they did. It's got a new headliner, nice and tight just the way it should be. There are brand new sun visors on it, no stitching coming loose. The mirror itself actually, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but it looks like it's new also. There's no milkiness whatsoever in it. New dash pad. You can see it's just been installed. Obviously new seats front and back, new interior, new door panels, new window cranks. That's weird. I never saw one with white knobs on them. They got white knobs on the front window cranks and black knobs on the back window cranks. Different. Has a little bit of a differentiation to it there. Again, the back seat just as nice as you'd ever want to find. The panels in the back are also new. There's no marks or no fade or deterioration on them whatsoever. Seats are nicely padded. You can tell these are all redone, all new foam and springs and everything. Door panel on the driver's side, the same as the passenger side, absolutely brand new. It does have the molded armrests on them instead of the just recovered ones. These are the factory style molded armrests on it. All the soft trim, the chrome trim accentuates this door panel, front and back, and all new, everything new on it. Astro ventilation, how about that? They got one vent there for astro ventilation. We got a gauge in here. So let's see what else we got. This is new padded area here for the A-pillar. New rubbers all around, everywhere. In the doors, around the windows, they've all been refurbished. Everything is absolutely new, rubber seal-wise, weather strip-wise. Console with seat belts. It even has the correct seat belt holder in it. It does have the retractable type seat belt on the side. Staple shifter just the way it should be with the correct designation on it here, just the way you'd want. Nice and clean chrome the whole way around it. Trio of gauges on the center section here. Billet aluminum steering wheels. A big wide split tri-spoke design. Little horn. And it's billet aluminum with a padded like black rubber material on top of it. A little smaller wheel, so it's going to give it a little more steering response than a conventional size wheel. The knobs, absolutely brand new. Gauge cluster, nice and clean and clear, just the way it would be. There is, unless they have it hidden somewhere, there's no radio in this vehicle. I have no idea if it's in a glove box or it's in the back or whatever, but I don't see a radio. So you have to hum or listen to the motor, one of the two. Great interior in this car. Again, seat belts in the front. I don't see any in the rear, but that doesn't mean they're not stuffed behind the seat. We'll have to take a look. It has a set of floor mats in the front. Gas pedal, the brake pedal, and the emergency brake pedal all have trim and really nice. Disc brake designation on the brake pedal, by the way. I don't see anything in this car that doesn't show itself as new. Like I said, whoever did this had to just go into it and just said, I'm going to make everything new the way it was in 1968, and that's what they've done. They accomplished it. This thing is just a brand new vehicle outside and inside. Take a look at it. It's here at Hangsters, Daytona Beach. Nasty sounding 68 Camaro. Big block car. Definitely a serious piece of equipment. We already went through this billet wheel. Horn that works. Tachometer over here where the Astro ventilation vent should be on the driver's side. Put a functioning tach. Works as it should. Fuel gauge. How about that? We got over a quarter of a tank. There's an unusual event for us. And actually, a car that has some fuel in it. We have an oil pressure gauge showing about 50 pounds sitting here at idle. Temperature just starting to come up. We just fired it up. Voltmeter showing about 14 volts, which is correct. And let's see here. We got wipers that work just as they should. Alright, we got left turn signal functioning as it should. Right turn signal doing its act also. And that should do us. Temperature starting to come up, like I said. We'll find out. Speedometer working here in a minute. Just go for a little ride in this guy, see what it runs like. Right, running car, speedometer working just like it should. Showing us about 40 miles an hour. That's what the sounds like it's got a solid lifter cam and a strong running motor. It's full strong. It's not good something. Look, down the road. Straight down here. No hands, going down the road straight as an arrow. Still no hands. Let's try brakes no hands, see what happens. Nice and straight. Running motor. Nice tight car. The steering is very responsive in it. And the small wheel helps it a lot. You know, it gives you a little bit more leg room, and it also helps the response of the steering. Nice tight car. I like it. Ahead a little bit here, give this thing a little squirt, see what it runs like. There's about 80. Went off of that. Nice strong running car. Pulls like a freight train, shifts nice. Nice Camaro. Got a real nice sound to it. A nice crisp exhaust sound. Not objectionably loud, but definitely let you know there's a motor under the hood. Nice strong car. Nice straight running car. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. No pulls. You put the brakes on and stop straight. Oop, got to keep it angled straight though. Nice car. Okay, we're underneath our 68 Camaro. Charcoal gray and silver. This guy really has a nice look to it. And the undercarriage is absolutely phenomenal. It does have new shocks in the front. It's got disc brakes, new rotors, fairly new looking calipers on it. Ball joints have been replaced. Tie rod ends are nice and fresh looking. The grease cups on them are nice and resilient yet. Brand new high torque gear reduction starter on it. You can see there's no leaks whatsoever on the oil pan assembly on this vehicle. It does not have a shield, a cover over the bell housing area on the bottom for the flex plate and a converter. And a lot of the vehicles that we have down here to the south, they take those off simply to allow more air to flow through there and help keep that transmission fluid as cool as possible. And that's why it's missing here. If it were an issue, it's going to a northern state, we could certainly install one for you. But at this point, we just leave them alone. Looks like a turbo 400 tranny in it. Long tube set of headers on it. They look like about 2 inch, 2 1/8 inch. Can't really tell from under here. The subframes in the front are just as nice and clean as you'd ever hope to find them. I mean, there's absolutely no scale, never was any. The drop downs on the fenders, the inner fender panels in the front, there's no evidence of anyone trying to jack them up through the years on those points, or on the rocker panels on the front on either side, where they transition onto the floor pans, which are the original floor pans. I don't see where they're disrupted at all anywhere. New transmission mount in it, new universal with a grease joint on it, no leaks on the speedometer cable or the tail shaft on the transmission. And you can see there's no leaks on the tranny or the engine. I think I mentioned that. Huge exhaust system, 3.5-inch collectors going into a 3-inch, a full 3-inch exhaust with an X pipe on it that helps the flow on these vehicles. This individual chose to put a set of solenoid operated dumps on it, so that technically you're running right off of a set of headers coming straight out underneath the car. So you can open the header system up if you really want it to sound like a race car on the street. You could do that. Let's see here. Parking brake assembly, brand new cables on it and still intact and functional. Brake system, the original brake line still there. Fuel line, the original fuel line still intact and just as nice as can be. The floor pans on this thing are amazing. Honestly, there are no marks or jack marks or deterioration or dents. The pinch welds are still evident on the rocker panels where the floor pans transition onto them. Someone has put on a unique set of strengthening subframe. It's not actually a subframe connector, but what it does is it goes onto the floor pan itself, and then it's welded in place onto the floor pan, so your front subframes do give it some rigidity mounted to the floor pan, which is only, I don't know, about 14 inches away from the rear subframes on this vehicle. So you've got a lot of structural strength added because of this feature that they've incorporated on this Camaro. The U-joint in the back appears to be fairly new too on the drive shaft. Again, the floor pans in the back, I mean, everywhere I'm looking on this thing is just as nice as can be. So again, the solenoid operated dumps for the exhaust system on here. I don't see anything that's disrupted on this thing. Absolutely nada. Absolutely nothing. Disc brakes in the front, as I mentioned. Drum brakes in the rear. 18-inch wheels in the back. 17s in the front. Has a set of Heim joint connectors on it here. I don't know. These things will really stiffen this chassis up considerably, and the rear end. It's going to allow a little bit of vertical movement, but certainly no spring wrap up on it. It does have a set of monoleaf springs in it. 3 inches out of the short Flowmaster type mufflers that are on it. So you got an entire 3-inch exhaust system on this thing dumping out behind the rear axle. 12-bolt Chevy rear. Good heavy-duty rear end in this guy. As nice as you'd ever want to find next to a 9-inch Ford or a Mopar Dana. New shocks in the back to complement the shocks in the front. The drop downs in the quarters are just as fresh as you'd ever want to find. They're still the originals. You can still see the way the quarter panels are attached to them. The tank is a brand spanking new stainless steel tank. It has a set of new galvanized straps holding it up in place. Floor pans in the trunk itself, you can see they've never been replaced and they're totally rust free. This is a very nice car underneath. Of course, it has a aluminum cover on the differential. It's a nice feature. You can change the gear oil if you want. It has a drain plug. I don't see anything. You can see no leaks whatsoever. A huge exhaust system to help this thing make some horsepower. The front subframes are connected very professionally to the rear. The entire vehicle is just as fresh and clean and new underneath as you could ever hope to find one. This particular car is available at Hanksters at Daytona Beach. If you're in the market for a Camaro, and we have a bunch more besides this one, you should take a look at our website because This is a pretty exemplary one here, but we do have a bunch of other ones for you. All kind of different flavors for you to take a look at. But this is kind of unique with this matte silver and charcoal finish on the vehicle, and the undercarriage, which is totally rust-free. Great mechanicals in it. We're going to go for a ride in it, and we'll see what this guy runs like.